Hi, it's Theresa with Crafty with Theresa. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, as promised, I am working on another scrapbook layout, and it is a part of our monthly challenge. I'm hoping I get this out on Saturday. My fingers are crossed. If I don't get it out on Saturday, I will get it out as soon as I can. So the layout itself, I'm going to show you here a copy of the template that I'm working from. And it's basically 3 or 4 items to make this. Obviously, I have my picture. This is my granddaughter. She's starting first grade. There's lots of stories behind this, and I may try to throw those in as I go along here. But the layout itself is about 3 or 4 items. You've got a photo, which is great for me. I like one-page layouts. You've got a banner, you've got a title, and then you have some journaling. So I have a few changes that I'm making along the way, but nothing crazy. So enough of my chatting. Let's get to crafting. So first, we're going to grab some of our base papers, and what I'm looking at here is the base page is pretty in pink. The second page, which is a Night of Navy blue type of color, actually came from Weekend Adventures. And I'm going to take a strip out of that because I will have a companion page that goes along with this. But for this layout, I'm going to show you that I'm taking strips out of that. I'll take a white piece of paper, and I believe it's White Daisy, and then I'll take each one of those pieces and I'll make strips out of them. Now, I'm a big framer, but I did not do that here because I have a strange companion page that I'm making, and I'm super excited, and I felt like it would be better if I used those strips. So I'll cut these strips. They're each going to be 1.25 inches by 12, and I'll cut them down, and then I'm also going to cut this multicolored lavender, I don't recall, Blackberry Bliss and Pretty in Pink colored flowers. And this particular sheet is from Celebrations and Sips. And I wanted to intentionally show you that you don't necessarily have to use it for something that involves drinking or things like that, because there is a lot of that in that designer series pack. But you know what? I'm sorry, designer series paper. But you know what? There are 2 sides to these papers, and so I wanted to take that second side and make it into something fun for my granddaughter's first day of school. It matches perfectly with her furniture. Her furniture has that little bit of lavender slash purplish color. And then I brought in that blue strip because her dress is blue. So anyway, we're doing this. That particular celebration of sips has been cut down to 7 inches, I believe. Now, I needed to cut down the photo because I have the ability to make some changes with my instant photo printer, but not yet. Not as much as I'd like to. I'm not as familiar with it yet. I'm still learning. So I actually just cut down that photo, and I ended up cutting that photo down to 4 by 5 3/4. And then I grabbed that one of those pieces of the White Daisy to actually just frame it a little bit so that it didn't get lost in that busy flower paper. Now I grabbed a couple of items from my stash, and they're ink spots, and they're just from paper pumpkin kits that I had gotten in the past, and these are wonderful to use for inking. And I ended up stamping 2 of them. I tried Misty Moonlight, and then I did Night of Navy, and I preferred the Night of Navy. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit about how I'm going to be doing this inking. The first grade is what she's going into in this photo, and I want that to go down the side of my layout. So I'm just grouping that together, and then I also grabbed a couple other stamps that say, I'm a big kid now. One of them says best teacher, and I'll explain that to you in just a minute, and then the last one says back to school. I'm just practicing to these stamps have not been used, So, and these were in my stash, so I just wanted to see how well they were going to turn out, and they turned out great. Now I've decided to stamp first grade on the side, which is crazy because I'm always very nervous when I have to stamp directly onto something, but I have a backup plan. But we're going to give it a shot, and so I'm going to stamp, first of all, the words first. And I know I need about 1.5 inches. And so I'm going to stamp the first, about 1 inch down and then 1 inch inside. So at the 11-inch mark, if you're looking at the 1 to 12, it's at the 11-inch mark, and it's down on the 11-inch mark coming from the other direction. So there's your first, and then on the grade, I actually hand did that by hand. I did make a mistake on my D, and so I'm working on that, trying to determine, do I want to keep this? My backup plan, just so you know, is I'm just going to take a piece of that Pretty in Pink and cut it to about 1.5 and just put it on top of that, and then nobody will know. It will be as if that was supposed to look like that. But I did like it. I ended up working with that, shadowing it, making it look like it's shadowed. I'm still on the fence about it. What I'll do is when my granddaughter sees it, I'll see if she has any. If anybody's going to say anything, it's going to be this granddaughter. She's going to be the one that's going to say, well, Mimi, do we need to redo that? And it's wonderful to have somebody that cares that much about the book. So I'm excited about that. So next I'll grab that Moody Mauve paper and I'll go ahead and cut the banner that's going to go underneath it. It was real simple. We just quickly cut it from the side up to that mark. And I'll lay that underneath the photo. And then next what we'll do is we'll start grabbing all of those statements, sentiments, words, I don't exactly know what to call them, and start adding them onto this layout. Now I did go ahead and add some dimension onto this layout. I liked that phrase, back to school. I had gone ahead and decided to put that into a circle because that looked more like the design, that sketch that we're working from. And so I had some circle dies that are nice and perforated, I guess is the word. And so they have that around the edge. And then I just took a plain white circle to put underneath it, put the words back to school and added that little heart right there at the top. And then I'll add some dimension onto the layered perforated circle and I'll add that onto the top. I think it turned out great. I'll add some just plain double-sided tape to the bottom, and then on the heart that I put at the bottom that says I'm a big kid now, and that truly is how she felt about going into first grade. And so I'll add some dimension onto the bottom of that heart, and I'll add that to the bottom just underneath her. Now I do not have the journaling on this. I'll explain that just a little bit. I do have some double-sided removable tape underneath the photo because my plan is to make a tag that you can pull out and look and see what it says. It will talk about the fact that her first grade year, we ended up having to homeschool the two girls. With all of the sickness that was going around, we knew that we have a family member that has lots of challenges. And so because of that, for his safety, we decided to homeschool the grandkids for 1 year until this family member could get well. And so the teacher, the statement best teacher, that'll be on the top of the tag and it will slide right underneath this photo. And you can pull it out and it'll tell you the story about how I was her teacher. And of course, I'm going to put the words best teacher. And I did. I loved it. I had a great time homeschooling them. And then when March came along of the following year, we felt comfortable to allow them to go back into the classroom. So we did. It was a wonderful time. And that's it for this layout today, and I really hope that you like this layout. I know it's simple, but sometimes I think simple is best. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you would hit that notification button, hit the like and comment button, and if you could share it, it would really help me a lot. Just a heads up, I do have the card design that's in the 2025 Stampin' Up! Catalog that is on my list of things to do, and I plan to, believe it or not, flip to an vintage/masculine card to make that design, and so that will be coming out soon. So until next time, have a great day.